Hello there, welcome back to the book set Completionist. My name is Tom, and here is episode 34. Today I'm revealing this book set, and I'm reviewing a yellow book. It is probably science fiction, dystopian stuff, a bit of horror in it as well. Let's see about that later. But first, let's go into this. 6 books in this set, published between 2005 and 15. It is science fiction, and it is about a future in which the human race has colonized space, has explored into different galaxies, but the habitable worlds are contested because there are other aliens who also want them, and the humans have to fight those aliens. Yeah, and the soldiers who fight these wars are old. Now, if I say anything more, then you already know what I'm talking about. If you don't already know, old. Right. The author I can mention is John Scalzi, and that should really finalize it, seal it up, wrap it up, seal it, deal it. I'm talking about the Old Man's War series. Here they are. We're starting with The Old Man's War by John Scalzi. They're all by John Scalzi. Old Man's War is part 1. We've got the Ghost Brigades as part 2, followed by The Last Colony, and then Zoe's Tale, and then The Human Division, and The End of All Things. But is it the end of all things? If you call the book 6 in your set the end of all things, then that should be it, shouldn't it? You would not want to confuse readers by adding an additional book to your series, because that would not be the end of all things. But that is the case. To my surprise, when I looked this up after having this set in my storage for a long time, planning to make a video about it, I found out there is a book 7 published last year. And so it shouldn't really be on this channel, should it? It's not complete. Not complete. But anyway, there it is. If you wait 10 years to come up with a new installation after calling your final book the end of all things, then that should really be it. And I cannot be blamed for any additional parts, which I then would have to wait for to acquire. No, this is it. There. Oh, and there are no maps. Okay, let's go to a book review. Hello. Here we have The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey, published in 2014. This book is not about what you think it's about. Well, if you're like me and you don't read blurbs, you just go by the cover, then what would you think this is about? Would you think it's about zombies? You wouldn't have any reason to think so. But it is about zombies. Yeah, okay, so what are we talking about? Let me summarize it a bit. In a future where the human population has been decimated by a fungus, and this fungus is an actual fungus that exists in real life called Ophio... Now I forgot the name. How embarrassing. Oh, Ophiocordyceps, which is a fungus that actually grows inside ants. After ants walk over a certain piece of ground with that fungus on it, the fungus attaches itself to the ant, burrows its way into the brain of the ant, and then takes over the ant's complete system, at least the motor system, and makes the ant do whatever the fungus wants to do. And the fungus's goal is to reproduce. So what does this fungus do? It makes the ant climb up the highest tree where the fungus would then expand inside the ant until it bursts out and explodes into the air, flying on the wind and spreading out its spores. That is an actual living thing that exists in our world. And Mr. Carey has imagined this fungus to be applicable to humans. And that is what caused a zombie apocalypse, where now there are only a few people left who are not infected by this fungus. You get infected by a fungus? I'm not sure, but you get the point. And there are also children who have been born of infected people, and when you turn into when the fungus gets you, you turn into a zombie. You want to eat other humans, and when you bite them, they will turn into zombies too. You're very fast, you're very strong. But if you don't have any stimulus, if there aren't any people around to eat, you would just become idle and look like that. Yes. And so a few people are left. They are trying to figure out how to cure cure the human race and beat this fungus. And they have gathered a bunch of these kids who, again, have been born of infected people who are not the same as the zombies. They do need to eat human flesh or animal flesh if humans are not available. And they have super strength and skill, speed, but they can still think. They have still the ability to talk and to communicate and to just learn. And so people, the uninfected humans, have gathered a couple of these, a classroom full of them, into a bunker and are now trying to figure out how to, well, get a cure out of them. There's a scientist who, one by one, splices open their heads and tries to analyze their brains to find a cure. One of them is called Melanie, and Melanie is the main character, and she is the best of all. And the teacher who teaches Melanie is very fond of her and does not want the scientist to take her and dissect her. So that is how it's set up. Then at some point, there are also a bunch of humans who are living out there in the world who are trying to survive. They have turned into sort of cannibalistic degenerates, and they are attacking the base, the bunker, and then the scientist, the girl, and the teacher, plus one soldier or two soldiers, have to go out and escape from the place, find a way to reach safe haven, and just that. Then it turns into your kind of run-of-the-mill zombie survival tale, which is not all that interesting. And, well, then there's an ending, which is interesting, but I'm not going to spoil that. So, I think that the title is misleading. I did not really want to read about zombies. I thought this was going to be about a girl with exceptional powers, whatever they may be. And this girl does have some of those. And the girl is a very interesting character, but she doesn't get enough screen time or page time. It's mostly about the scientist, the soldier, and the teacher kind of bickering about what to do, what decisions to make to ensure their survival. It's all a little bit repetitive, and the girl again doesn't get enough to do. Yeah, but the girl is very cool. And a movie has been made. I'm not sure where. You might want to watch that. I do recommend to watch that movie because the book is yeah. I think the movie would do a better job. I haven't seen that movie, but I imagine I would have enjoyed that more than this book. Right. There you go. That's it. One book today. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.